Hey guys, I saw someone on Taobao selling 1.3 gram darts online, and I had to buy some to test. The direct translation from its Chinese name is rumbling, as in the rumbling from Attack on Titan. Product link is in the description below. These rumbling darts are slightly more expensive than worker darts and have white tips and blue foam. I will be doing a series of tests to see if these rumbling darts are good, starting with the dart weight. Using worker darts as the benchmark, the worker heavy darts with green tips weigh 1.2 grams, regardless of whether they are regular or bamboo. The rumbling darts weigh 1.3 grams. Checking with another dart, and it is still 1.3 grams. Seems consistent. Now for the press test, starting with the worker darts. The foam feels firm, and the dart head feels firm too. Let's molest the rumbling dart now. The tip feels firm too, similar to the worker one. The shaft feels as firm as the worker one too. Let's try touching the worker one again just to make sure. Yes, the tips and shafts for both darts feel soft, yet firm at the same time. Definitely good enough to get the job done. However, does adding ribs increase the pleasure of shooting?
Rib for her pleasure.
Let's move on to the measurements first. Visually, the rumbling dart looks slightly longer than the worker darts in general. It seems that the rumbling dart's foam body is just a bit longer than that of the worker darts. Does a longer shaft result in increased performance and pleasure? Let's measure them. The worker darts measure 36mm in length. The rumbling darts measure about 36.5mm in length. Both dart types' width is about 13mm. Next, durability test. The heads for the worker darts are generally quite difficult to pull out. But wait till you see what the rumbling darts can do.
She's so tight.
I guess we don't have to worry about dart heads decapping. Next, chronograph test. and here are the summarized results. On paper, the 1.2 gram worker regulars and the 1.3 gram rumbling tree ribs look the most promising. But do the results translate to better groupings in real life? We shall see in the range test later on. Before that, let's do a quick chronograph test with the Diana flywheel blaster for the 1.2 gram worker regulars and the 1.3 gram rumbling regulars. On paper, the rumbling regulars seem better than the worker regulars for the Diana. We shall see if this is the case in our range test. Testing the darts at the 30 meters and 20 meter ranges with the Blizzard Pyro AEB, and the 10 meter range with the Diana brushless flywheel blaster in hot mode. For the 20 meters test, all shots were on target and there was not much difference between the dart types in terms of grouping and general accuracy. The differences were way more significant during the 30 meters testing as shown next. I am aiming for the figure 11 targets hit. 1.2 gram worker regular darts at 30 meters. There is some light wind now. .2 gram worker bamboo darts at 30 meters. The wind is now slightly stronger. .3 gram rumbling regular darts at 30 meters. The wind is very strong now, so please take this into account. .3 gram rumbling 2 ribs at 30 meters with strong winds. .3 gram rumbling 3 ribs at 30 meters with strong winds. And 1.3 gram rumbling 4 ribs at 30 meters with strong winds. Here is a summary of the results. Please feel free to draw your own conclusions from these groupings. But from what I can see, the 1.2 gram worker regular darts did not perform that well. Comparatively, the 1.3 gram rumbling regular darts were also not that great, even though they were subjected to strong winds as shown by the groupings drifting to the left. The 1.2 gram worker bamboo darts performed quite well with moderate winds. But it is the ribbed rumbling darts that seem to perform very well. I would rank the 2 ribbed darts as the best performer, followed by the 3 ribbed darts. Despite the strong winds during testing, the groupings for the 2 and 3 ribbed darts are excellent. The performance seems to drop somewhat for the 4 ribbed darts. It could be due to higher friction with the 4 ribs and heavier 1.3 gram weight. Maybe it takes a higher powered Springer blaster to truly unlock the 4 ribbed darts potential. Maybe the regular rumbling darts are just as good as the ribbed ones if used with a higher powered 300 plus FPS Springer. However, I will definitely run the 2 rib and 3 rib rumbling darts in future games, with my Blizzard Pyro AEB performing at 250 plus FPS. Next, we have the range test at 10 meters with the Diana Brushless Flywheel Blaster in hot mode. I'm only testing the regular darts here, as ribbed darts supposedly do not perform as well. Here is the summary of the results. The 1.2 gram worker regular darts did much better than the 1.3 gram rumbling darts. Maybe the rumbling darts are just a little bit too heavy for the 130 plus FPS Diana Flywheel Blaster. Maybe they will perform much better if a higher powered Flywheel Blaster was used. Personally, I will not use the 1.3 gram rumbling regular darts with my Diana, and the 1.2 gram worker regulars are good enough. So what do you think of this 1.3 gram rumbling darts? Are they game changing? Would you buy them? Do you think players will use them to deliberately meet the FPS cap at games? Do you think heavier darts are fair? Let us know in the comments below. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you found this helpful. Thank you and see you.